Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching this from in the world. A very warm welcome to our November live demo here at procurementsoftware.site. And this one seems like quite a popular one, judging by how many people registered to join this one. So it would seem, Ian, that category strategies are a pretty popular topic. So just while we're waiting for everybody else to join, if there are a couple of people joining late, Ian, from Positive Digital, if you'd like to give a quick intro, who you are and what you do, and then, we can jump right in.
Sure. Thanks, James. And thanks for letting me join you today. And good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ian Anderson. I'm the Operations Director here at Positive Digital. And we produce software as a service online, supported by a team of developers, an in-house development team, to make sure we cover the key pillars of knowledge and understanding that procurement people need, which of course is category management in this case, negotiation skills, and supplier relationship management, as well as, of course, sustainable procurement these days. But today I'm going to be talking about Capella, our category management guided creation tool. Over to you, James.
Awesome. Thanks, Ian. So, just if anyone is in the chat, is in the comments, just I'm always curious to hear, to see where people are watching these from. So just give a quick message in the chat, in the comments, to let me know where you're joining from. We've got people, I guess, from all over the world. We've got a pretty international audience, which is fantastic to see. Just before we start, I'm all about transparency. So Positive Digital are actually a client of mine. So it's been a pleasure to work with Ian and the team over the past month or so since I joined, helping them out with getting these products to market. So Amsterdam, Harvard, brilliant. Goedendag, that's about all the Dutch that I know, and Proost. So let me bring up then, let's make a start. So if I add, it's this one, isn't it, Ian, that you want? Is that the right one?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, over to you, Sam.
Okay, brilliant. Well, let me just introduce ourselves so those people that don't know us. And James, you go to the second slide, please. That would be excellent. So as I mentioned earlier on, there's a number of pillars of knowledge that we've developed over 20 years as a renowned thought leader in the space, with a range of consultancies and classroom and online training. And we've moved that to Positive Digital from Positive Purchasing as a consultancy and training firm, including instructor-led training online, to still look at those 5 key areas: category management, supplier relationship management, negotiation skills, buyer's toolkit, and sustainable procurement, of course. And we do that in a range of ways. We do it through our platforms, we do it through live online instructor-led training, we do it through competency assessment, strategic road mapping and guidance, and coaching and support. And we've now moved that on. And what we're going to talk about today is Positive Digital. So we can move to the next slide, please, James. So on the back of that known knowledge and provenance that we built over the years, and our own understanding and intelligence of how these different processes work, we've built software as a service applications across these areas. And let me explain what they are to you. So we have our platform, which we call Proteus, which combines all those different aspects together and provides a way to glue all those key pillars of knowledge as well as processes, so that you as clients and people operating in procurement departments have a range of tools at their fingertips just in time to utilize, to grow their skills and to apply that knowledge by doing. And we've done that in a number of ways. We have the Capella tool, and the Capella is the category guided creator tool. We have Ruby, which is a negotiation guided creator tool. We have Redsheet, which supports Ruby. And Redsheet is the knowledge behind and a procurement process in negotiation. And we have Buyer's Toolkit. And Positive Digital, we're launching ourselves as Positive Digital to provide those tools across the whole community. We're changing the way that we do things, and we're changing the way that we are approaching procurement to ensure we leverage the new technologies that come onto the market. Can I go to the next slide, please, James? So what are they? Well, in a nutshell, Procleus, strategic procurement, strategic tool and workflow. Essentially an ecosystem of different elements that allow you to bring together all the things that you need at your fingertips: cross-category management, sustainability, supplier relationship management, negotiation. It's a large depository of processes, tools, and templates and learning, and it's modular in form. And it creates that backbone, that glue within which we provide the tools that you need for day to day to have strategic negotiation and procurement, strategic category management, and strategic supplier relationship management. Capella, I talked about earlier, is the guided tool, and we've built it around our proven and well-established 5-step change management category management process called 5I. What we've also done is provided a range of modes, and I'm going to show you those today, of how you as a practitioner can work your way through the guided, be it that you need more guidance or that you're an advanced practitioner. We can cater for both, and I'll show you how. And we have on-demand learning built into it. So not only are you utilizing the platform, but you're learning good practice, standardization of language, and a standardization of approaches as you go. So it's not just about creating your category strategies, it's about learning how to be an advanced category strategy practitioner. The same applies with Ruby and the guided negotiation plan. We've built upon our processes to create that software interface where the intelligence behind it helps guide you to the perfect negotiation planning tool and event. Developed negotiation is collaborative. On-demand learning also exists in that platform, as does it with Redsheet and Buyers Toolkit. Today, I want to spend time taking you through Capella as a toolkit.
Okay, thank you for that intro, Ian. So just a bit of housekeeping to the audience before we jump into the live demo. So we will have a structured Q&A session at the end of the demo, but if you do want to pop a question into the comments during any point of the demo, if it's very relevant to that slide or to that screen, then we can pull up that comment onto the screen and I can ask Ian to answer it while we're going through the demo. So we're really very, very flexible in terms of how we handle Q&A. There will be a little bit of time at the end, but if there is something that's specifically relevant to that part of the demo, we can tackle that as well. So yeah, back over to you, Ian, if you're able to jump in and share your screen.
Okay, brilliant. Hopefully I'm sharing my screen and it's already shared with you, James.
Yes.
Fantastic. So ladies and gents, let me introduce Capella. Capella is the guided workflow strategy creation tool. At its heart, we've thought about the end user. So all the way through the process, you'll see there's lots of signposting and help available, and I'll point those out as we go. But I want to start by explaining the process and where it's come from. So it's 20 years of experience in building how category strategy should be done, providing that common language, providing that ability to have and govern your category strategies, providing that ability to have visibility on strategies that don't get buried or disappear when category managers leave. So we were tasked to solve the problem by a number of clients some years ago, in fact, 6 years ago or so. We spent the last 6 years developing the tool to when we think and we believe it's ready for you to get the greatest benefit from it. And that problem was simple. We want to see and have visibility on all our category strategies. We want people to be able to build strategies together. We want people to be able to share those strategies across different elements of the function. We want the ability to model using a strategy tool that has inbuilt intelligence that isn't just about searching or AI, but more about clear knowledge, rules, and decisions trees built on experience and time. We also want the ability to govern those strategies and the ability to ensure when members of the function leave, we can transfer those strategies, duplicate those strategies, and ensure everything is visible at all times. And fundamentally at its heart, to all employ the same language. So let's have a look. As I talked about, and I will push it off screen shortly, inbuilt walkthroughs to help you with what you need to do. to guide you on your journey, as well as a more traditional approach of a downloadable PDF guide that you can put next to you as your companion on the side. I'm going to dismiss that because the thing I need to say about our site, although I'm showing it on a higher resolution screen, which we'd recommend with the amount of data you can look at, it's mobile first ready. That means we can utilize it on any device, anywhere, as long as we have an internet connection. Of course, because we're connecting to the internet, it's important that we're secure. So the highest level of security on servers and ensuring that not just in transit, but at rest, the data is yours, safe and controlled. And what we have here is the main dashboard, and it's dashboard driven with a central repository of all of our category plans. Great thing about it, it works out of the box. We can have you logged in and utilizing this within days. In fact, within a day, if we have the credentials of the users, or we can work with you to integrate other elements of what you require. But the key thing is the key intelligence and understanding is built directly into the system. And it governs ensuring that the rights permission is at its core. So what you're seeing here is the main dashboard. And in the main dashboard, this is the data that you as a user, be it a super user, a line manager, or a standard category manager, or someone learning category management, has rights to see. So that's organized at the start, and you will only see what you're allowed to see. And this amalgamates the data. So as a functional level, key leaders can understand the spend, the savings, the overall market difficulty, and the overall confidence to meet those savings based on a range of intelligent factors built into the system, and the general progress of how the category strategies are going. Because you may be employing direct one-to-one relationships across the year where you have certain times a year where all category strategies are governed, or you may be using a wave plan. Both can be catered for. Like any system, it's built around the data that's in there and the ability to search that data. So at all stages, there is search capability within the system to find an owner, a status, a progress on a category, the spend, the forecast, or even a category strategy name. And we can easily search through the system to find those. It also, at the highest level, we are able to govern the strategies. We're allowed to understand what gates, and we define the gates, and you can define the gates within your own functions and decide on the dates with the owner of the category strategy to ensure we understand where every strategy is at every stage. And with each strategy, we can track the benefits of that strategy. What are the benefits we want to track, be the cost or value, or a range of strategies? Again, a great deal of this is built in our knowledge and understanding that we share readily with the people in the system, so they're building that expertise at the same time. So the three key elements that this and Capella will do, it will create your strategies for you. It will allow you to govern your strategies, number two, and you can track your benefits, number three. So let's have a look at how it works and the two different pathways you can choose as a user using Capella. And I'm going to use fabrics here. As you can see, I've set one up and I've worked my way through it to show some key elements, some key things that I think I need to draw your attention to. The first of which is that we have two methods of using Capella. It might be the strategy is a straightforward category that you need to create. It might be that you're inexperienced in category management. So you need that either that extra support, or you want to make sure that the system help guide you to your possible solution. And we do that using what we call guided. And this is the little color, and this is Capella here. And let me introduce Capella, because Capella has a lot to do on this journey in helping us understand what we need to do. So I'm going to continue the journey in this category using the guided mode to show you how it works. But the other thing you will notice is you can download your category strategies. If you're someone that likes to share them with other stakeholders in the business, or to take them and store them in your own systems as well, they will download as PDFs. But the great thing about the PDF is that if you upload, and I'll show you shortly how that works, a PowerPoint document, an Excel document, any document, it will be appended with a link, a secure link to that PDF, keeping all of it together at all times. And the other key thing about the general system that you were looking at is there is a comms system built in. We can send messages to key stakeholders or to people involved in the project, because we can choose who's involved as the owner, as the category manager, who can interact in this project, both in terms of viewing the project, interacting and corroborating what's been written in the project, so reviewing it, or collaborating in creating that category strategy plan. So let's continue the journey with fabrics and have a look. I've set up 3 subcategories because not only is there a taxonomy system that we can add into, and we can help set up your taxonomy system for you with 3 levels, but we can have subcategories within each category area as well. And I have 3 here. I've used an example, which is a manufacturing example, but it's directs and indirects as well, of course. And what you see here is the fundamental philosophy when we're guiding people, which is we're asking them questions. The algorithms and decision trees that are sitting in the system will help output our suggestions. So let's see how that works. So I'm perhaps inexperienced, or I'm starting to build my category strategy before perhaps I do want to move to the advanced practitioner mode. And I will show you how that's done shortly, but you can see you can swap between modes. So not only can I start with something that allows me the extra support and scaffold, but I can move when I'm ready to answering the so what, because all of us working in category management, particularly in procurement departments, understand stakeholders and that knowledge and that so what, and that discussion you have with your peers, colleagues, and other members of the business is key and crucial in devising the best strategic plan. So you get asked the questions and you choose your choices. Straightforward questions in plain English, and you work your way through them. As you can see here, what I'm doing here is an opportunity analysis. So I'm identifying which category strategies and what value I might get from that strategy. And as I build my way down, I will have the output based on these inputs, and it will plot the potential benefits and tell me some of those difficulties based on those rules and algorithms in the system. And I work my way through that questioning to do and to get to the high level possible strategic strategy, the power that I have in the marketplace, and the possible value levers that I can use. So as I work through this, I get to various points and it will generate out for you the potential high level strategies based on your inputs. So great for modeling as well, of course. And in this instance, as you can see, Guided Capella has said, actually there's 3 high level strategies that are not appropriate whatsoever based on the inputs: demand, switching supply, and specification in this case. But there is one in particular that Capella recommends. And Capella just not only recommends in annotating with a key, but it recommends by providing text output as well. So Capella recommends in this instance a competitive strategy. Relationship optimization is possible. Our power is high, so it's not surprising competitive strategy is worthwhile considering. And it's considering, and we have the power, so let's leverage the market. But so what value levers should we use? There are 16 that we consider. Of those 16, based on a range of questions as we work through the guided, Capella will get to either showing a particular lever, ignoring a lever because it's not absolutely one that you should consider, or will present it as maybe consider it. So as you can see here, for the inputs, based on this strategy, high level, and our power, Capella is recommending aggregating spend, increasing competition, and there's a range of other ones that are possible, but only if they will add value. So it's Capella is providing that structure to help us understand how we can maximize the value from this plan and how we can manage the spend effectively. So you can see the guided mode will push you through a range of questions. And I'm just going to show you how it works by just pushing through it a little bit more before I switch to advanced mode. And as I go through the questions, I'll be asked. Sometimes questions do require thought and text. An STP, a situation target proposal. What's the problem? What do I want to solve and how am I going to do it? Requires text. But throughout both the guided and the advanced, there is help available. because we provided video. That's STP. Let's push through to the next one, see what that tool is that we're looking through and Capella's going to help us with. So I'm going to click next and push through to the next tool, which I remember right is day one analysis. So we ask the user the questions, but we supply that extra bit of support and help so that they build that capability at the same time. So they're ready to move on to be an advanced practitioner and maximize the value we can possibly get from that category. And you can see it's video and it's chapterized. So you can dip in and dip out to understand what the custom quadrant means in day one analysis, or what a procurement expert says, or how day one analysis works. And as you build through the tools, that knowledge is presented by the system to help you, as well as Capella guiding you with Capella Says. So in this case, based on the inputs, we're plotting into tailored, which means we are in control, but the supplier provides the process. So we've got to consider how we're going to manage that relationship. With all category management tools, each tool by itself presents only part of the picture. The system will build that picture for you to help recommend when you get towards the end what strategy we should and could use. So we work our way through, and I could flick through this quite quickly, answering the questions, understanding outputs, seeing what's being said, and end up with the high level strategy that I can consider. Perhaps it's not a spend that's difficult to manage, or perhaps I'm not quite ready to move to advanced mode. But what we really want to do is to move category managers into advanced mode, to be advanced practitioners. So let me swap into the advanced practitioner mode and show you what that means, because it takes those tools and more. As always, guided, and you can see you've got that walkthrough guided available. In the same way we've got walkthrough guided, we'll find there's guidance wherever you go. There's the video, there's little eye icons, helping build good practice and fundamentally the consistent practice across the function. All tracked, as you can see, and I'm now in a category level. So I'm looking at this category only, not that highest level. And I can see the market difficulty slightly above 50% based on all the factors, because as you answer the question from tool to tool, the market difficulty will change, as the strategy confidence will change at the same time based on all of the tools that we pull together. Estimated savings will change and the opportunity analysis can be done at any stage. But before we set any strategy, we need to think about who we need to have involved in that strategy. And that's about the setup or overview, because throughout the system, there are tools within tools. So when we're thinking about the category strategy, we're thinking about a number of things. Who do I need involved that are going to review it, formally or informally? And this is informal at this stage. What other users do I need to reach out to using the comms system? Which will send an email to them and an email will come back. So encouraging people to utilize the system. And which of these tools am I going to use? Or which ones do Capella recommend? And the beauty is Capella can recommend it. You as the owner, as the category strategy person, can choose whether or not you decide to follow that. So Capella only understands that with inputs. So we start with understanding the category at this stage. This is our first insight, really. Is it a difficult category? What's the business support? The impact on our business, our certainty of business requirements, and so on. 8 factors to consider. That will then plot where the category is in relative terms, in terms of ease or difficulty or maturity even. And then it will present which we recommend should be done, or Capella recommends. And when we're ready to start, and you can add them back in at any time and add reviews to each tool or to the whole projects, we start building that category strategy. So we move through to the strategy itself. Notice the word report, so you can download the strategy. Notice that we can transfer ownership at all stages. We can swap the mode. We can share it with the whole function as good practice, where it becomes read-only. So we have that ability to share at different levels and to develop it. Let me continue going to the strategy. As you'd expect, ours is a 5-stage process, but we create our category strategy plans by the end of stage 3, innovation. But we've continued on in terms of these templates as far as stage 4, and we can build different templates into the system. But you work your way down as the category strategy specialist. So if I start at setup and I go to opportunity analysis, I would choose to add the categories, answer the questions, and the system would plot where it would be. And based on our 20 years experience, would suggest a minimum potential savings based on those factors for that category, as you can see here on the left or right. But a key part of the advanced practitioner mode that I need to bring to the table is the system will tell us what might be possible. Capella will suggest and say, but we need to apply our own thinking. So what does this tell us? So by utilizing the knowledge in the system and the intelligence and understanding our own knowledge and intelligence and talking to our colleagues, we can come up with a more succinct and a better or more honed consideration for that tool. Here we've got the opportunity analysis tool. Notice there's only one tool here because I took a couple of tick boxes off there. If I'd gone back and turned them on, there would be other tools there. But I'm just showing you this to demonstrate the power of the tools. The other thing you'll consider is that we need to understand where we are when we're building our own strategies. So we're in control to mark when we believe it's complete to help guide us where we are on the strategy. So the next time I log in, it starts from that point. I don't lose time. It also allows that high level metric, if you're a line manager or a super user, to understand where all categories are or to look towards where the categories are in terms of the process. I showed you one tool there. Tools require inputs and tools sometimes require text. I'll choose one other tool for you, which I showed you earlier on with the day one analysis, so you can see the comparison between the advanced practitioner mode and the guided mode that I started with, because the day one analysis tool works the same way. Capella will output for the tool its suggestions based on where that particular category has been plotted. But at advanced practitioner mode, it's not enough. We need to make sure we consider all of these elements to talk about the so what. So what does this tell us? The other thing that you will notice is that at all stages throughout this process, you can upload a supporting document to each tool. So perhaps you have done your own insights. All of you will have different insight tools. There are many on the market, be there, in fact, supplier tools, or be there spend tools or spend analytics, or it's generally just market knowledge. You will have all bought in different forms from different providers. We can have a discussion about combining those providers in for you, but the beauty of the system is that you have that freedom to go to your providers currently and decide what key information I'm going to support and place in my category strategy using the supporting documents. I can complete my initial assessments with what Capella says. I talked about the ability to let the browser do the work. If things are too small for you, zoom in. Let the browser do the work. It's mobile first ready. I'll come back out slightly. We can pick up on the market forces, and we can also help guide people on the processes that they should be thinking about when doing market knowledge. What am I going to consider? What else could I consider? Have I got a full enough picture? Building all these tools together takes us through the process and allow us to pull that picture together, that picture of how the category strategy will look. We move through price cost, we move through external environment. We use the two strategic direction tools, clearly a portfolio analysis and supplier preferencing, so that we can end up with an understanding of how we can shape the category strategy. In this case, I had two that I've moved through portfolio and supplier preferencing, with Capella telling me what to do, both in terms of the actual position and the behavior of that category or the behavior of that supplier, but ensuring that I do the so what in every case so that I can get down to what would be the strategic setting direction I could have for this particular subcategory. In this case, the system is saying for this tool or the combination of the two tools, Capella is saying keep the supplier interested and manage them carefully. So clearly in our inputs, we've realized that we've got a problem supplier there. Maybe we haven't got a generic product. Perhaps we're locked in certain ways. But combining all the tools together and combining the so what's together pulls us to the point where we can determine the strategic direction. And the strategic direction is about letting the system do the work for us, making sure we're generating and supporting any decision with external documents, and looking at what the system has told us in terms of the different tools, and also what system has told us in terms of some of the tactical quick win tools and strategic longer term options available based on that category strategy. In this case, you can see we did 3, and there's a range of business, market, operational, supplier options, some tactical for your quick wins, and some to build the bigger picture for your strategic direction setting. Because once you create your strategic direction setting from using the tool, then you're considering, how am I going to evaluate it? So built into the system is an evaluation, which allows you to empirically look and ensure that firstly, you meet your business needs, go or no go. And then anything that was a nice to have rather than a need, then we consider them, and we consider how difficult or easy that particular category strategy option is to implement. And we could build layered strategies that way, but we've got to give the reasoning, because the intention is that we're building a category strategy plan that will move back within the function to the gate system and the leadership teams to approve it or not. So the transparency is always available in the system, both to create them, to change them, and then to output them. So users can come into the system to govern, or they could you could output your PDF and they could take it offline to do. So next step, you created your category strategy, and I could take you through all the tools, but I'm not going to. I wanted to show some key things. Is what we need to do is to govern them. And governance is very simple in that the respect we understand, and we need a gate. We need to understand what that gate is, and we need to have someone to sign that gate off or not. So we can build our own governance. You can see there's no build there, but in other cases there are builds to give you a comparison. So we add, as the owner, what's our agreed gating system? What do we call those milestones, which we set up at super user level? In this case, I'm having 4 stages in the final governance that can be what they like. You have total control of the workflow in terms of gating. You build your gates, and the user will upload. They will have a target based on date, and once completed, the reviewer will mark as complete and click submit, and we will be able to generate out what the current status is for all the categories based on the filtering that I've set to present and prepare for senior leaders that are perhaps not in the system, or to take away from the system. So at a glance, I can see the state of the categories across the function. At a glance, I can download a particular category strategy set based on what I'm allowed to see, with the super users seeing more than individual users, so that I'm building that understanding and I'm able to share that understanding with the users that need that information. And here's an example. So it's a PDF document. These are the model categories I put in. This is the status. And if I'd sorted it, show me the ones at the top that are there, or I'd sorted it by another one of the particular fields, I can download that and share it with other members of the team who don't have access, or other interested stakeholders or parties. So there is that inbuilt ability to print or so on within the system, and to view where you are. You will notice here that it's bookmarking where the strategies have got to. It's telling you the information you need, as well as, and we talked about, there are 3 parts: create the strategy, govern the strategy, and the third, track the benefits. We can set up our benefit tracking. We can decide what benefits we're tracking. We can decide on our classification system, and you can utilize, I think we've got somewhere in the region of about 40 benefits that are sitting there as a taxonomy. You could utilize the ones in the system themselves, or build your own in, because it becomes yours. The intention is that we're tracking your value by category. All of that is done by ensuring that you have super users that we assign. So not only are we building the taxonomy of the project categories, we're also building the milestones of the governance. And to show you that in concept, we build the taxonomy to ensure we're highlighting and segmenting our spend properly. And we have control. We can allow users to create categories or not. We can control from the center, or we could disperse that ability, and we can allow that ability to distribute across different areas of the function. We can control the names. We control our currency that we're opening in, and we can transfer them. And we can build our own taxonomy, and we can build our ability to govern the gates, as I've said, and also to assign line managers and benefit track at the same time. I talked about benefit tracking in terms of what's available in the system. And I'm just going to show you a few so you get a feel for it. We've classification groups and we've got classification types, as you would expect. And you can add some of your own. These are the most obvious ones, and we are built into the system already to allow you to track them against that particular category strategy. So Capella has a guided approach. You notice this has changed now. It's moved away from the guided approach because I'm using the advanced practitioner mode. But it was the guided approach with the Capella icon, or if the spend demands it, or your experience has already been built, or you feel you're ready to dip dive a bit more, you move on to advanced practitioner mode. You can, as part of that, build your understanding of the algorithms in the system to provide you information at every tool, which distills down to allow you to make a decision when you get to options generation and option selection, to allow you to generate the reports out before, and to govern your categories at the different stages, and to track the benefits for those categories. And what I've given you there is a whistle-stop tour in roughly about 35 minutes or 25 minutes or so of the Capella system. James, I think we were going to take some questions. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Ian. Wow, that was yeah, very good on the timing. just in time to get. But yeah, we've got about 7 minutes left for Q&A. So just before we hop to Q&A, category strategies, and I feel like I could spend all day looking at that. We've only barely scratched the surface, haven't we? But the category strategies obviously is just part of procurement technology. As you alluded to, Positive also has a tool, Ruby, around negotiation prep and planning guidance. And on procurementsoftware.site, we are essentially a directory of procurement technology solutions where anyone on the buy side can completely free of charge search and filter over 415 solutions that we've got on there now, and slice and dice that data in just a few mouse clicks without the need for any expensive research subscriptions. So yeah, if you're thinking of this as part of your bigger or more holistic digital transformation strategy, then head over there and check us out. But yes, Ian, you're absolutely right. We're going to go to Q&A now. So if you do have a question, just pop it in the comments. There was one that came in during the demo. This one is from Sharad. I think I can probably take this one. So how is the system different to any of the other BI tools or the likes of Sievo? And also the problem which industry is facing is having the data to have such views, especially historical data. Okay, so Sharad, I think you're perhaps confusing what Capella does on the category strategy guidance side from a more spend or data analytics type tool. You mentioned Sievo. Sievo is one of many data analytics tools that are out there on the market. So to answer your question, Capella is not going to take and clean all of your spend data. You're going to have your spend data either from your ERP system or from your procure to pay system or from a spend analytics tool to be able to plug into Capella. So Capella is not going to take and clean your spend data. So we're kind of comparing apples with oranges a little bit there. Just looking, there's not anything else that's come in. So that means either there aren't any questions or everyone's gone for lunch. We had a free trial that you wanted to bring up as well, Ian. Do you want to run through that before we sign off? Because
I think it's a good idea. a good idea.
Yeah, if you want to give this a bit of a test drive, then Positive Digital have got a really good offer for you. If you want to just take this and have a bit of a play with it and see how it can work. So yeah, Ian, over to you again.
Okay, I'm hoping you've got the link, James. Have you got the link to put in the chat?
Mel, do you want to come up and just present the? Yes, sorry, yeah, I do. Just give me a second.
So we have got an offer for you. If you would
Okay.
like to, in anger, come into our sandbox and utilize it, and please don't use live data on it, because we are going to delete the data anyway after the 3-week period. We're willing to give you 3 weeks to come and have a look, have a good look around the system, get a feel for how it works. But what we need in order to do that is we need to ensure that we've got your name and obviously your credentials, your email address, so we can set you up as a user. We can get the credentials over to you, and we can give you 3 weeks to have a look through the system. So if you would like to take the opportunity and advantage of that, then you'll find the link now sitting in the messaging system to click on, and hopefully we can take you through how Capella works and pick up a conversation. So at any stage as well, if there's questions that you do have, reach out to the Positive team. And if you do, again, finally, would like that link, then please click on the link, complete your details. Clearly, we want to make sure that we cover everything off to get the details we need from you, and we'll get it organized for you and get you started for the next few weeks.
It looks like right. So a little bit of a technical problem here. It looks like Mel in the background is trying to paste the link into the comments, but it doesn't look like she's able to do it. So what I will do, I've obviously got the details of, or at least the LinkedIn details of everyone that's attended today. So in the post demo communication, I can just fire out the DM with that link. So it's just a simple Google form to enter a few details into, so as our friends at Positive Digital can give everyone that wants to trial that some access credentials. So I will send out a DM to everyone that attended this later today. And you will have that link if you do want to give it a try and have a 21-day free trial. So yeah, there was one question that had come in while you were just going through that, Ian, and that's from Harbert. What external data sources does Capella use? Maybe you could just quickly explain that before we sign off.
Sure, and it's a good question, Harbert. So we're currently in the process of finding a good, cost-effective range of data sources for you as clients. I mean, the one thing that doesn't escape any of us is data is expensive, and we have a range of potential partners. So we'd work with you to talk about, do you currently have a partner? Do we need to, and if you were taking a instance of it, would you like that partner integrated in? Or here's a range of partners that we have available for you when we get there. Currently, to get around the fact that we're not offering the data partners because we haven't found the right ones that will meet your needs at the levels that we believe they should be, we're allowing people to use their own data sources. And as I showed with each template, is to copy and paste the key elements into there. Because of course, you can always have a different tab open looking at your data sources so that you understand and you can work around their particular UI UX to find what you need. But we're working with a range of potential partners over the next few months to find something that works for you as the end customer and works for us as taking them on as a third party. I'm hoping that answers your question.
Harbert, if that does answer your question, then no need to say anything. If you've got a follow-up question, just pop it into the comments and we'll take that as well. Okay, so the link I will get sent out. Thank you everyone for joining. It's, like I said, I feel like we've only scratched the surface. There are so many different things that you can see and do and try out in here. It really is a very comprehensive tool. So I would encourage anyone to take Ian and the guys from Positive up on their offer and give this a free trial, because it really is the only way that you're going to get to grips and really understand the capabilities that it can do. So Ian and all of the team over there at Positive Digital, thank you for putting so much effort into doing a great demo. I hope everyone has come out a little bit wiser as to what Capella can do and how really it can take days and weeks out of you fiddling around in PowerPoint trying to put your category strategies together. I know as a former category manager myself how much that used to frustrate me, and this really can help you to get some time back at what is a very, very competitive price point as well. So thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and bye for now.
Bye for now.